welcome back. We are talking about how much money I made in September as a freelance videographer. Now, if you're new to the channel, I have been doing this for about 5 years now. I work mainly in real estate and I do this full time. And if you're just considering that, this might be something you want to do full time, just to give you insight and just have a healthy conversation about finances, because it's very taboo as a videographer or anything in freelance. People just don't like to talk about money. And in a competitive market, you may feel like somebody may undercut your prices and all that other stuff. But if you add real value to your clients, you should not have to worry about being stolen or having clients stolen from you. Just work on your brand, work on doing the absolute best you can do, add value, and talking about money will be nothing. Now let's get into it. Starting September 1st, I actually landed 2 retainer clients. One at $17.50. This is a documentary style filming. She wants to film for YouTube. She's a house flipper, and we film about 3 to 5 times a month. For the second is $3,000, and we film 10 times a month. Each of the retainers are credit based, meaning we film for an hour. So if my client wants to do 2 hours of filming, that's 2 credits burned, and that's how I operate with these 2. September 3rd, I did a listing for $350. It was a super small one. Oh, another thing I have to mention, because I do have people that ask, throughout this entire month, I didn't offload any editing to an editor. Like every project that I did this month, I felt was super manageable, so I didn't offload anything. I did all the editing. Moving on, we went to September 5th. I went to Victorville for a listing, photos only. That was $350. September 7th, the following day, it was a spin studio grand opening. They wanted a 1-minute video and the raw file, so I charged her $500. And for this one, actually, I was there for about 2 hours recording, and I felt like it needed a little bit more. And the very first spin class was the following morning at 5 a.m. So I went free of charge to get like the first spin class and just add little segments of that into the grand opening video, because I just thought it would have popped more, but I didn't charge for that. So September 11th, I did a podcast with no editing. And I say no editing because like I'm using the switcher, so I'm kind of doing everything in real time. So by the time I'm done, I just literally just send them that copy, and I don't really touch it after that, in post at all. So get you a switcher. If you are new to podcasting, I recommend getting an ATEM system, especially if you edit on Davinci. I freaking love my ATEM Mini Pro ISO. It saves me so much time. That same day, September 11th, I had a Norco listing for photos and video. Super tiny property, and that was $350 as well. So that was a nice size day, nice $750 day. Oh, actually, there was another job I did that same day, September 11th, which was $400 for 80 TV with John Perez. I actually did a YouTube video on that just on a busy day, I believe. But yeah, that was actually a $1,000 day. And sometimes I consider it $1,000. Sometimes I don't, because the 80 TV is a net 30. And if you don't know what that means, it means you get basically paid 30 days after. But that was a pretty good day. September 13th, I went to Hollywood and I filmed this listing for Lewis and his team. He basically wanted an introduction of his team to like market on his website and on YouTube. I charged him $600 for that. Oh, and the place that I filmed at was really nice. It was like not a condominium, but it was kind of like a condo, but he needed video of one of the condos. So that's why I charged him $600. I was wondering, like, why did I charge $600? But I charged $600 for the team video and for the virtual tour of the property. It took me about an hour 30 minutes. September 14th, I booked a quinceañera, and I got a $200 deposit for that day. But the quinceañera is not until next year, but I'm counting it the $200 because that's what I was given that day. September 17th, I had a listing in San Bernardino for $450. That was video and photo. The property was pretty decent in size. It wasn't too big, but September 17th, I had another listing in Lancaster, interior photos only, for $300. This one was really strange for me because when I walked in, I could tell they were like, it was like they were doing construction in the home. So to me, the pictures looked really bad, not because of the exposure or like the editing, but just because there was like paint everywhere, and there were tarps. There were tarps on the windows. You can see in the backyard that there were like a bunch of construction tools, so I couldn't do a window pull on that. But it's what they wanted. I mean, there was nothing I can do. There's like, I'm not about to move a bunch of stuff because you can see that like they're still in the process of fixing this home up. So I didn't want to move anything around. They actually told me not to. But interior, $300, not bad. So I made $750 that day. September 19th, I did a client testimonial for $450. The client just wanted to like highlight, she was selling a home to one of her childhood friends in a city that she grew up in. So she really wanted to highlight this video. I was there for about an hour and a half. The edit was a 60-second video for Instagram. So that was $450. The following day was the Airbnb, and this is the YouTube that I made about how my client was telling me that I was cheap, pretty much. I charged $800 for that Airbnb. I don't know why I keep calling it an Airbnb, because they're selling the property, but I mean, it's currently still on the Airbnb site. So I love going to that place. It was just crazy circumstance because it was freaking raining like crazy. As I was driving up, it was hailing on the drive, which made it, I should have checked the weather. It made it a little scary driving up that mountain, because it's like one lane all the way winding up the freaking mountain, and you can see to the side of you is like a huge drop off cliff situation. So if you're afraid of heights, that drive will super annoy you. Probably have your hands sweating as you're driving. But $800 for that project. September 21st, I did a listing, video only, for $350. I didn't enjoy this project that much. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy this project at all, because when I got there, it was a Saturday. The client was in the house. It wasn't a vacant property. They were bothered by me showing up at 9, which is the agreed upon time, because they just wanted to sleep. Go in the house. They didn't make the beds. There was like dog bowls, food on the countertops. Like, it just wasn't clean. So walking through that property doing what I did was just like, do you guys want to sell this place? And you know, it happens, I guess, but these are the type of properties that I'm trying to get away from. Moving forward, I want to get into bigger, nicer, like people actually care and they clean up, and that's what I'm trying to move towards. So we're in the process. Moving on to September 24th. I actually had a couple days off. Then September 24th. Oh wait, let me say this right. From that Saturday, I had 4 days off because I knew I was going to have a super busy work day on September 24th. I had a photo shoot for $350, just headshots for a loan officer, in an event where one guy hired me and I ended up getting another person who wanted a video. I sold it both at $350. So every project that day was $350, $350, $350. So that was a nice $1,000 day. I mean, $1,050, but a nice $1,000 day. And each video that I did for that event, they both wanted just a recap for Instagram, just to highlight more of the event. And this is what I find I get a lot of business from, because you'll have somebody who really just wants a really nice highlight video that they can share. So the next time they have an event, they can just continue to promote that, and more people will come, and that's how they make some money. So I'll go to an event for one person and I'll leave with like 3 people who want the same type of video, just with them in it. And because I've been doing this more often, I realized the people who want videos, sometimes they won't ask me at the event, but I make sure that I'm super hyper focused on getting a lot of B-roll of that person anyway, because a day will go by or 2 days will go by and they'll reach out to me and say, hey, do you have any footage of me that you can make a video of me too? And I'm like, yes, I do, because I knew you were going to ask, and I'll just make them a video for $350. So that was a nice payday. The following day, I had a listing in Studio City for $500. I actually made a vlog video on that one. Make sure you go check that out. Nice little $500 day. The following day, I had a listing for $350. That was a video only situation. And oh man, this one I actually messed up on because it was a closet. No, the escrow officer, her husband was doing construction on that home. And apparently the closet that was in the front of the home, they converted it into a half bathroom. So I didn't get a shot of that, but it was so small, I really thought it was a closet. So they weren't worried about it. They actually laughed about it. But now I'm like super focused on making sure I open every door just to make sure that it's not something I need to photograph or record. All right, so coming to the end of the month, we are on September 27th. Now I wrote this down. I didn't get paid for this, but I wrote this down because it's important. I was shadowing a creator named Jason. But I followed this guy early on when I got my FX6 because I was just looking to set it up correctly, and he had a video on it. So I followed him and I realized that he lived in Cali, so I reached out. His name is I'm Jason Anthony. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Super down to earth, cool dude. But he does way bigger budget projects that I'm looking to get into and learning how to do. Things that require more of a team than just individual stuff like I'm doing now. So I just hit him up like, hey man, do you think I can, get some B-roll of you working and just kind of shadow you and learn and, pick your brain on some things? And he was like, yeah, come on through. So I went to that. I didn't get paid for that at all. I want to reiterate that I did not get paid, but there are going to be times where you got to do some free stuff that will lead to paying jobs and will really just take off your career. So you make sure that you leave time for free stuff. Not everything needs to, put money in your pocket. Some stuff will pay you way more and later on. So make room for free. I'm excited for what that's going to bring in the future. And wrapping up, this was the last project I had the month of September, which is September 29th. It was a yacht party. Now this was probably the biggest paying job that I had that day. They just wanted the same thing. It was a 5-hour job because you go from the dock, the yacht goes out for about 4 hours and then comes back. I was there from 5 to 9. No, I was there from 4 to 9 because I got there early to get drone shots. But they paid me $900 for a 1-minute video and the raw footage. $900. Now, while I was on that boat, there were 3 people that wanted their own highlight video as well. So for one person, I charged $250 because he's my boy and I just wanted to give him a discount. I know you guys are going to come after me. Yeah, whatever. I gave him a discount. I would have charged him $350. I charged him $250. Then there was a lady, an agent. She wanted a video for $350, and then another agent for $350. So that day ended up being $1,850 to close that day. In total, I made for the month of September $14,700, which is about $1,000 more than I made last month. Now, I really wanted to cover this topic, especially because I don't want people to think that, last month was just a really good month for me. And, he probably doesn't do that all the time. As you can see, I actually made more money this month than I did last month. And I'm already projected to make more this month, the month of October. So, it's doable. This is something that you can do full time. Although I do have some friends that are going back to work. It's not because they are finding it impossible to do this full time. Sometimes it's just the stress. Sometimes it's just the weight of clientele and projects, and you want a relief from that. So you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to work for a while so that I can just focus on doing one task, the task that they are paying me for, not everything that is required when you're doing freelance. And that's okay. So if you're thinking about getting into freelance, you're going to want to start learning how to multitask and figure out how you are under stress when you have to do everything. Especially in the beginning, you are going to have to do everything because you don't have the finances to pay other people to do, some of the work to offload and, have more of your time. But it's doable and it's manageable. I love what I do. There are times where I feel stressed, but it's more of the clientele relation stuff versus the weight of the workload. And seeing this next time, I'm definitely going to offload some of my edits to other people just so I can have more weekends, because this month I didn't have a whole lot of free time and weekends to myself, which I was kicking myself in the butt for. But it happens. You live and you learn. Now, diving through everything, looking through my financials and what I was charging, I definitely realized that I'm going to go up in price, which is a great thing for me. I'm definitely learning that skill set on how to, because I believe it is a skill to learn the value that you need to present in order to charge more. And I'm open to the feedback. I already know there's going to be so many people coming for me, but it's okay. I lay myself out here to be judged all the time. So the feedback is good for me. Just make it constructive. Don't just, you should charge more. Like, give me the reason why you would charge more. Show me the value proposition, or show me how you charge more. Like, you might be somebody in a bigger, better position than I am, and you want to like explain, and leave that type of stuff in the comments, because it helps me and it helps the people that watch these videos. But that's it for this video. We're going to wrap it up. If you guys have any questions about what I do or how I do it, please ask, because I'm currently working on having membership-based content where you pay your subscription for the month, and I have some really detailed content for those that are paying the membership, and working on my mentorship program where you have access to me one-on-one, or I have group Zoom calls where we kind of cover all of the things that you can do in order to make money in this field. So if you're interested in that, please comment below that you're interested, or reach out to me on Instagram. I'll leave the IG name in the description, and you guys can follow me and ask me questions there as well. But thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Do not forget to like, share, hit that notification button, and I will see you in the next one.